Back from vacation, the MMA Junkie Radio team ready to do another main event breakdown. It's Saturday in Lincoln, Nebraska for UFC Fight Night 135, and it involves two awesome lightweights, ranked lightweights. These guys do not like each other. I don't know if you guys saw what happened in L.A., man. I thought they're going to have to separate them, but it's James Vick, the favorite, at -150. He's battling Justin Gaethje, a former champion in the WSOF, now known as the PFL, and he comes back at about +130. Goes, who do you like in this fight?
Justin Gaethje is one of my favorite fighters of all time. But when I have to break down a fight, I'm always going to go with technique over power and courage. And right now, Justin Gaethje hasn't shown me that he's been able to make the proper adjustments to continue winning in the UFC, get a streak, and fight for that title shot. So I got to go with James Vick. I just think he's going to pick him apart little by little, but I think he's going to be patient. I think he's going to get it done maybe round 3.
And Dan, he really is one of his favorite fighters. I think you flew or drove to Arizona to catch one of his fights back in the day. Yeah. All right. Dan, Tom, we got to put those biases aside, though. Who do you like?
You know, I was interested to see James Vick as the favorite. I think it should be a close line, though, for a reason. Even though Go's brought up a good point, Justin Gaethje's aggression, it's why we love him, but it's also why, you know, it almost bites him in the butt when he gets to these higher echelon guys that can counter, can fight smart. But the problem is, or the problem with that problem, I should say, is that I actually think the old Justin Gaethje approach of aggression is probably his best approach against a guy like James Vick. I mean, James Vick, not a lot of guys pressure him, partially due to his long reach that he uses very well. But when we have seen guys pressure him, like a Beneil Dariush or other fighters in brief moments, that's when they had their success, win or lose, against James Vick. So that's what I'm interested to see, the ultimate pressure fighter, if you will, a guy like Justin Gaethje, what he can do. That said, it comes down to defense, it comes down to technique, and although James Vick appears that he can be there to be hit, his head's up high, he's tall, he's got really good boxing, he knows his range, he changes up his shot selection, goes with uppercuts and body shots, which I think are going to serve him well in this fight. I'll go with James Vick here for this one.
Yeah, and you know what? Something about the knees. I think the knees might come into play. You know, from below the waist, you got Gaethje with those vicious kicks. That even he admits, I don't know what the hell I'm doing, but I'm kicking like a mule, and he's actually stopped fights with them. But Vick, I really like what he can do with his knees. He's a humongous dude, man. 6'3", 155. I think he walks around like at 190. I think his moment really is now. What I don't like is Gaethje coming off a couple of those battles that he's had with Poirier and even Alvarez back to last year. I really want these guys to decompress a little bit, and I don't feel like there's enough time in between those fights. So we got to split hairs here because, like I said, they're both ranked fighters. They're both legit fighters. But, man, if I had to pick one thing that I like, it's just the momentum that Vick's got, whereas Gaethje's on a little bit of a downslide. After starting off 16, 18-0, it's just his time is not right now for Gaethje. But maybe he proves me wrong on Saturday night at UFC Fight Night 135. There's our breakdown. We did the best we could, man. We've got a little bit of a rust. What do they call it?
Mic rust.
Mic rust. That's us.